Morning. So I just wanted to share this morning about this verse that says, "From your heart flows the springs of life." From your heart flows springs of life. So there's a common misconception about this that is really important for us to talk about. Um, People have taken the verse like the heart is deceitfully wicked, um, and they've taken it to a theology that actually has been hurting them. Because actually, there's plenty of other verses that also say how God gave us our heart. Like He says, "Turn my heart of stone into a heart of flesh." Um, and so um, I wanted to speak into this because in my journey, to healing past pain, in my journey to growing as a leader, to becoming who God has me to be, in my journey of even growing our income and our business, and becoming a healthy person, uh, it has included listening to what my heart is saying. Now, before you write me completely off, just hear me out. I'm going to read you Proverbs 4:23. Keep your heart with all the vigilance, for from it flows the springs of life. And this is a beautiful verse. I really, I really love it. I know in the Bible there's debate about, original translations. I believe instead of heart, they talk about gut or like liver or something like that. So, this, the Bible, keep in mind, is actually a different language, and and we cannot translate it. We cannot take it always like straight across. So it's nice to have teachers who have dug into the history and the culture and some deeper things. But this is where the confusion comes from, because sometimes I believe, like in the verse where it talks about the heart being deceitfully wicked, I believe it's talking about the flesh. The flesh is deceitfully wicked, the enemy who sows seed into a bad heart. When you have a bad heart, it is deceitfully wicked. The flesh itself is deceitfully wicked. But God has not made us. He made us originally good. He said when He made us, He said that is it's very good. He said of other other ones of His creation, like the animals and tree. He said this is good, but He called us very good. So I just wanted to lay that foundation. Um, and this isn't the debate in what we're talking about today, but I wanted to start there because I believe it's really important to um, lay that foundation. So a lot of what we do in our world with our students is we help them hear what they've been missing. Like, so often, psychologists, we've heard this over and over again. We're actually currently working with a counselor. We've created a certificate program where we're training a whole team of 18 counselors in what we lead our students through. This counselor went through our course and said, my counselors need to be trained in what you guys do. I have not seen it anywhere else. That often they are taught as counselors more of the brain than they are the heart. And when you miss the heart, then you miss actually what's really going on. You can't just change your mind. You got to change the core of your being. You've got to experience transformation. There are things inside of you that are going on that are really painful, and you can't just change your thoughts without changing the very thing, the root, the cause of the pain. So today I'm talking to high achieving people. This isn't for this isn't just for people that are clearly hurting or anything like that. This is for everyone. We as leaders, especially because we've been taught the wrong thing. So we are passionate to train pastors, leaders, innovators, entrepreneurs, what it looks like to address past pain so they can move on and even be more powerful and teach others healthy emotions. So this is vital to actually the church moving forward. The church is experiencing pain right now, and many pastors are being confronted with major sin and worldliness and ungodliness, and it's because of this they haven't been taught to address the heart issues, the pain, and they don't know any better, and it's hard to see that happen. So early on, I remember, I want to tell you guys a story. Early on, I remember I had been a missionary with YWAM. Love YWAM. Such an amazing experience. Life changing. Changed my life in so many amazing ways. And I had adopted a belief system that I was not, struggle was not for Christians. And this is inadvertently, this is well intentioned. And you know what happened in the end was performance and denial of the truth. We as humans can be victorious, yet not in denial of the things that hurt us and the pain that is in the world and the fact that some things aren't better. And what do we do about that? See, a lot of you I know have that question. What do I do about the pain? What and a lot of us feel really alone. And so at the end of that journey, at the end of my journey, I committed for 2 years. I actually fell completely apart. I fell into depression, even compromise and sin, and and my only way out was not what I had learned at YWAM, which I still believe in miracles. I still believe in having great faith and being radical as a Christian. And this is in fact why we're doing what we're doing, is we've learned to be radical, to be influencers, to change the world around us. And God has given us an opportunity to do that. So, so what had happened was that I was in denial of the fact that I had a lot of pain and a lot of unmet needs and undealt with things. And until I was able to come out of denial, so this is saying, hey, I have a problem and it's not getting better and this life is not working for me. What do I do? This is what we have to come to. So like, let's say you have an alcohol problem, or you have an addiction to work, or you have you don't have the ability to, you've tried and tried and tried to lose weight and be fit, yet you haven't been able to tackle that problem. There's a lot of different things that this addresses, but this is what I'm talking about. With what we do in our world, these are the things that you can confront, and when you apply the heart issues, when you go to the heart issue, you can finally address these very things. Isn't that exciting? That is super exciting. Like, it was such a relief to me. I'm gonna start here. So I had been living in Germany and working with YWAM, and I needed help. So I moved home I moved in with my parents. This is in Idaho, and uh, I was on depression medication, that which actually really, really helped me. Definitely recommend it. And and what the medicine did was it gave me a break from the intense feelings, so I could deal with the actual core issues that were there. But I remember this moment where I was in my car. I had gotten a job. I had gotten my life together in America. And this was just the beginning, guys. This wasn't even um, the full um, thing. But I was in my car and I noticed I had these things inside of me that I wasn't willing to let, like, I was so afraid that if I let myself think about this thing, or if I didn't distract myself or run away from this thought or this uh, fear or anxiety, that it would consume me and that I'd surely die. It's an extreme feeling, and I'm sure that if you guys have been through um, any of life at all, you know what I'm talking about, whether it's that extreme or not. But it felt inside so dangerous to even let myself think a certain way, and so I would ignore, run from, distract from these thoughts. I would pray. I would, um, but guess what happens when you run? I'll tell you a little story connected to this that I learned. Um, so I heard this story once of this kid who was so afraid of this dog in this neighborhood. And one day, this dog got out and chased and chased and chased and chased him. And he ran and ran and ran. And suddenly he tripped over a crack in the sidewalk. And when he fell, the dog pounced on him. And his heart was beating so fast. And guess what the dog did? Licked him. This is, in that moment, exactly what is happening. Your heart is telling you you have a need. There is something that needs to be taken care of. So um, I had been getting some help, and I had realized that, or I don't know even how I came to this, but it's probably by the grace of God that I realized this. So I, for once, did not run from that thought, that feeling, that emotion, and I let it come up, and I comforted myself through it, and and um and was tender with my heart and held myself and told myself it would be okay and that I would be there for myself, and guess what happened in the end? It melted away. Did you know that your heart is looking for compassion? That your heart is also looking for care? Inside of you, there's, it's not this, inside of you, your life inside of you is not meant to be whipped into submission or, um, or like talked to meanly or pushed around. You know, if you've noticed, that doesn't work in real life. When you beat someone up and bug them and push them around, guess what happens? They push you away, and you'll never know what's going on, and you'll never be able to help them, even though your intentions may have been good. This is exactly what's happening inside of you when you have past pain that you can't get over, and then when you have cycles of pain and sin that keep on coming up, is that you have a heart that needs comfort, love, closeness, compassion, and you're not getting it. And so, guess what happens when your body needs adrenaline, when your body needs endorphins, when something needs to happen? This is when we get into um, unhealthy habits. So, eat more food, you get dopamine, or you overwork, and that gives you this sense of adrenaline, like accomplishment, or you spend all this time at the gym working out, and it may give you um, that the healthy chemicals in your body, but guess what? It'll never be enough till you deal with the real issue that is inside of you. And this is the amazing thing, is that God, Jesus himself, demonstrated this in the Bible. How he he drew near to the brokenhearted. He also told the Pharisees at one point, "Hey, I came for the sick, not the healthy." And I think I said this in one of my YouTube videos from last week, which you can go on there and watch. I was going to put it on here, but I couldn't figure out how to. So, oh man, technology, I'll figure it out one of these days. But um, he I wonder what would happen if Jesus had come in our times, if we would have been the Pharisees who thought he wasn't righteous enough, who thought he hung out with um, the wrong people all the time, you know, who would be shocked and indignant about how he didn't look righteous, how he didn't look um, strong. He didn't. He wasn't the type of guy that we thought he was. And this is what the Pharisees thought. And I think sometimes us as Christians, us as even really strong Christians, may not even realize it, but we may look way more like the Pharisees than we do the disciples, who were messy, who were um, real, raw, and even the crazy fact that he had a betrayer who may not have ever been a Christian on his team in his closest circles. Isn't that crazy? So, um, here's what here's what we do in our world with our clients is we teach them to tune into their heart. What we do is we have them put their hand on their heart and ask, and take a couple of breaths first, and then ask their heart, what are you needing? And then we follow that trail of um, of what comes up, because what comes up in your heart is almost always what you need to show compassion and love to. And and then we ask you to um, show compassion to that need, like uh, treat that need with comfort and love. And when you're suddenly getting compassion and love from from yourself, when a need comes up, then um, the addictions will disappear. But a lot of times this happens in layers, and it's really helpful to have people around to help you and to be there for you. Um, but I would love to hear from you how what you have been doing to heal, and what you have done um, to change past pain or cycles of sin in your life. What has worked? What hasn't worked? Because even common things like when you're a certain level of if broken and in pain, um, quoting verses is not going to do it. You need love. You need an encounter with compassion, God Himself. You need people to come beside you. You need that to be known, seen, heard, and still loved. Uh, this is going to be the most powerful thing for you. And you know how we know this is because through really hard journeys, me and my wife uh, almost tried every Christian option out there, every ministry, church, counseling, um, friends, everything. And what we found was that most options only address the mind and changing your thoughts. And this is very shallow and very hard. It's like the difference between pushing, like changing your thoughts is like pushing a boulder up a hill, when like showing compassion and love to the same problem instead of trying to push it uphill is like um is like pushing a rock from the top of a mountain down. It it's so different. So um this is just a little tidbit, but we'll probably go into this a little deeper in another podcast. We will be coming on here every week to share different things, but um, resistance. If you think about this, like I mentioned this earlier, if if you push, there'll be a pushback, right? But when you do something that has a multiplicative effect, like love, like um, that is infinite. So you got to think about, oh wait, I am pushing against, like there. I guess it's called like striving and fear. It's a fear reaction and a striving reaction versus a love and compassion reaction. And this is something we talk about a lot in our world is the difference between reacting in fear and reacting in love and compassion. So often when we try to address things like and try to fix things inside of us, uh, sorry, I have a little something in my throat. We are um, immediately closed up, putting up walls, and in fight mode. And this is an anxiety reaction that causes more anxiety instead of less anxiety. But in that moment, what you're needing is taking down the walls, putting in trust, love, and compassion, because your body doesn't heal when it's on guard. Your body heals when it's in peace and comfort and safety. Your body needs peace and comfort and safety to heal. These are all these are all like very big topics that can be unpacked. But I would love to know what you guys would like to hear more of, and I will jump on here every Thursday, and we'll have new content for you guys. I would also be so open to you guys commenting in the comments, liking, subscribing. That would help us so much. We want to reach so many more people with this because it's so important and so not known. Our count, like we just had our two of our clients recently told us like they had multiple counselors. One of them what is a counselor herself, and they could not find anybody who addressed the heart. It was always the mind, and they knew intuitively that they needed to go deeper to the heart, to the being, their being, and address those things. And when they found us, they knew this was the right fit. So I would love for you guys to comment your thoughts. If you what you've experienced before, what you've done, what you would like to do, um, and we would love to talk with you. But subscribe, like, share. That would be amazing, amazing, amazing. And I just thank you guys so much for jumping on today, and being here. We love you guys so much, and excited to continue this conversation with everybody.